Hello everyone, Mr. Storkin here, and welcome back to Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes. Today we're continuing on with our showcase of the Blue Lions. Today is going to be Mercedes, the choir girl. She is a mage, and if you know how I feel about mages, oh boy. Yeah, so she has some unique appearances. There's the class-based form, which is that, and then we're going for unique because that's more like Mercedes. So we're going to talk about Mercedes because it is Mercedes this episode. It would just make sense if we just, talked about Mercedes. But I'm going to have to go to the training instructor. I did go through and just leveled up some bonds, which I felt like was helpful because it really did help. And yeah,
I'll do my best.
we're going to have Mercedes, and let's have let's just be a net. Because why not? We can also choose Tabar, which I'm very unhappy about Annette in this game because I feel like they really did betray her. But anyway, this is Mercedes. Mercedes is a mage character. She is a blue lion, and she's mainly like the church person, kind of like Marianne in that she is very religious and praise Saros and the creator, which is okay. You know, you do you. She is also a cleric, so she can heal up units as well. So, yeah, the more you know. X move, go. There we go. Because that works out swimmingly. Again, I'm not the biggest fan of mages, so don't be like, hey, MH, do you like mages? Like, in this game? No. Mercedes is also the sister of dear old Yuritsa, a.k.a. the Death Knight, and, the game doesn't really dive much into that. Yeah, Yuritsa is her brother, which makes sense because they do look very similar. But they don't really dive into that as much as they probably could in a narrative sense, or maybe I'm just missing it because you need to go to the bonds. Oh, that vortex is pretty cool. So yeah, she is the church one. If you are playing and trying to do the in the initial game, if you're trying to do the part where it's like, oh, you need someone to dance, she's probably your best option, especially for the blue lions. She's definitely your best option for the blue lions. For each of them is probably Mercedes, Dorothea, and I don't know about saying Lysithea, but Lysithea was who I use, and Lysithea really did work, but she's one you want to use, and she will mainly be in the church. If you're like, oh, where is she in the match? Like, she'll probably be in the church praying, because that's what she does. She is a church person. Which, again, by all means, you're allowed to celebrate your religion. I'm not going to be like, oh, religions are false, because, yeah. Okay. Anyway, how's everyone doing? I'm doing okay. Oh, yeah, I should specify, she was my waifu in, my Blue Lions run. But she's kind of shy and kind of sweet and just like, okay, cool. That sounds fun.
Are you ready?
So yeah. I should specify what's happened to me because a lot has actually happened to me, which is really surprising. Recently, I met Sam Raimi at a convention and I was very happy. At the time I was recording, it like just happened. So, yeah, I was very happy about that because I got to meet Sam Raimi. I was very happy. Sam Raimi was a cool guy. I was just like, cool. But now I made a promise to Sam Raimi that he doesn't know about. But Sam Raimi, I am henceforth promising to review all your movies. So, yeah, that should be fun. It really should. Maybe I'll avoid summer, but I'll review most of them. Anyway, Marianne. She is a church person, which again is not a horrible thing. I'm gonna hate gameplay in this. Again, mages are a lot better. Not really in this game. I don't really like the mages gameplay in the in this Warriors game. I think it's just because they all feel the same, and unless they're really unique, then I am really apathetic towards them. in terms of gameplay. Like, it's not like Azura, where Azura had some really, really fun gameplay. I really want to replay Warriors, the first one, for many reasons. Just because I really want to replay some games that I played in the past. Just to be like, oh, cool, I'll replay them. Because it'd be cool to replay them instead of, like, collecting dust on my shelf. So, yeah, that's why. I'm trying to get better at just playing games for the sake of playing games instead of, like, for, like, the channel. Which is not a horrible idea. I really just want to replay some games, too. And it will give me an excuse to play Last of Us, which I have on my shelf. And I'm just like, cool. Haven't played it yet. So, yeah. Yeah, I got scammed out of it by a professor because the professor was like, hey, we're going to say The Last of Us. You might want to buy it. And then he was like, okay, and I bought it. I bought that and the, what's it called? The, oh, I'm forgetting its name. The Walking Dead game, the one that won Game of the Year for Telltale, which I do want to play, but I also want to replay the Batman game, their Batman game, before I even touch the Walking Dead one. I think the Batman one is far superior. The Batman is my favorite one so far. But yet again, it's the only one I played. And also, I also want to replay, but it has to depend on if my Xbox works, because I've been having issues with my Xbox where the controllers aren't connecting, so I'm going to have to refill their battery and try to reconnect them, because that'd be swell. Ow. That's one of the few reasons I did not do Empire of Ice for the Advent Calendar, which is odd now that YouTube's not okay with it. They're like, oh yeah, it's no longer banned. I'm just like, what? Okay, so I will get that, like, public for beginning next year. Be like, oh yeah, it's re-uploaded with the extended version.
I'm sorry, but I made my choice. I have
So yeah, I also hope you enjoyed the Quantum Mania review that I made, where it's like in really small text. That was really fun, really funny to write, and I just kind of liked making it. I'm doing that with another review. That was actually not the first one that I experimented that with. I worked on a review of The Fantastic Voyage, where I used the same method. But Ant-Man was the first one that really did it. I want to do that maybe with the other ones, but that required me like find my original reviews of those movies and maybe rewrite them, which I'm not entirely a fan of. That's why I do them in docs now and save them. I know that's like a weird thing to be like, that's what I do now. It's just like, it just saves so much time if I have to like do something with them. The main reason it saved my life, the main reason I started committed to it is because I was working on a Tangled review, and then my computer just crashed randomly and deleted all of that I've written of Tangled, which was like, oh, come on. And also, you maybe notice my Mulan remake review is that I kind of had to rush it. That was one of my rushed ones. Because The Mandalorian was happening, and it was the same night as that. So yeah. I'm trying to think what all else is happening this year in terms of reviews. There's always the usual suspects. Marvel's got delayed. Cool. It got delayed to the same month as a Dune. And it actually delayed my Dune review release, because I was going to do Dune the week that the Marvels came out. Because like, okay, Dune Part 2 would be out, and I could just do like Dune Part 1, Part 2. Which is what I'm thinking of maybe doing with Dead Reckoning for Mission Impossible, but I'm rather uncertain about that. Well, yeah, I probably will edit them together if anything.
As much as it pains me to hurt people,
Yeah, she is a pacifist. She claims to be pacifist, but she's a mage, so it's kind of like hypocritical. It's just like, oh, she claims to be a pacifist, but she's willing to kill people. It's kind of like Raven, which is even stranger because Raven has the devil inside of her. Yeah, Raven is a pacifist. Also, DC Zor, stop repeating that story about Raven's white cloak. It had already been revealed, and also IGN, you forgot about Titans Season 4 Reach Part 2 happening. Also, speaking of Titans, I reviewed the first 3 seasons. I'm really struggling to get into this fourth season. I think I should just be watching it while I'm working on other things, but then it's like, well, then you're not giving the attention it deserves. It's just like, well, maybe you're right. I think the problem is the show really tried to step away from what this current season is about. That feels so odd to see him do it again. Anyway, we're going to finish it up right here, and then we're going to do a support conversation for Mercedes, which we do because we'd like to show off more of their personality because it is a Fire Emblem game. And we're going to go do that right now. Return to camp. Yes, please. I gotta be careful where I press my thumbnail on my computer if I'm doing like constant changes, because one time I slipped and I had to re-record a video. I was like, dang it. So yeah, anyone attempting to harm Dimitri. That sounds about right. Yeah, so let's do the support info with Mercedes. Mercedes! You had one. What happened to it? I saved everything. Mercedes, you lied to me! You deceitful cow! No! No, I built up the bond. It said it was good. You lied to me, Gabe. You deceitful... Oh, boy. They deceived me. Oh, my God. They deceived me. Oh, that's such cruelty. Oh. Oh, such cruelty. And I got it with Felix, too. I remember it. I saved. Damn it. I saved? What the hell happened? Okay, unless I can't figure this out, I'll see you guys next time when we take a look at a net. Till then, bye-bye.